Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
All right, all right, all right. Deonte Banks put DK Metcalf in a blender. He put him on punishment. He shut DK Metcalf down, and let's show you how he did it. So here's number 3, Deonte Banks, and we talked all last week. We talked last week in my film breakdown of Deonte Banks that he was not comfortable off coverage, that he just should not be in off coverage because whenever he doesn't have his hands on guys, he just looks a little lost. Well, this time he bounced right back. The next week they said, "Listen, you're playing off coverage the entire day against a guy like DK Metcalf that has a potential at any time to just run out or just stop here and catch the ball, and you got to worry about tackling a 230-pound monster that runs a 4.3. That's probably the second or third or first fastest person on the field at any given time." But Deonte Banks answered the call. So let's take a look here, and we're going to let this play first. And I want you to take a look at Deonte Banks. Just look at Deonte Banks. Look at his feet. Look at what he does. But just take a look at him. All right, so we saw that breakup there. This time, look at the feet. I'm going to call it out. So he has outside leverage. He's daring DK Metcalf to make him open up and go outside, but this is an in breaking kind of route. So he's got outside leverage here, and he knows if Geno throws this here, I'm breaking on the football. If he throws it, I'm breaking. If DK Metcalf breaks outside and Geno throws it outside, I can just drop my open foot, my front side foot back, and I can open and go outside. Perfectly relaxed. Look at the feet, balanced. I mean, it's like he's dancing. He does not look a lick of off balance. He does not look any way panicked. And this is how you play cornerback 1 in the NFL. By having very solid, calm feet, quick feet, and you're on balance the entire time. If you just take a look at Deonte Banks here, number 3, he's just shuffling, breaking. I mean, beautiful stuff. And then, of course, does a great job of getting his hand on the football. This is something Deonte Banks has struggled with his entire career, but also something that he came really close to doing. Week 1 against Justin Jefferson, week 2 a couple of times, and week 3 against CeeDee Lamb, where he had his hand a millimeter away from the football and missed it. But against DK Metcalf, he was on the ball. All right, folks, take another look. Deonte Banks, DK Metcalf, one-on-one football. Love to see it. He's playing off coverage again. I said last week he shouldn't be playing off coverage. He's not good at it. Well, guess what? He proved me wrong in 1 week's time. Off coverage again. Look at the feet. He's calm. And that shuffle, breaks on it. And he knocks that ball out with his left hand. Now, I want you to take a look at Deonte Banks in this shuffle, looking at Geno Smith winding up to throw this ball, breaking on it. And DK catches this ball. Pretty much all but catches this ball, and Deonte Banks is able to follow it and knock it out with that left hand. Hits exactly where the football is and knocks it out there. Again, if he's not balanced, if he's not as relaxed as he is, this guy has no confidence issues whatsoever, and that's why I think he'll be fine. Will he ever be an all-pro? I don't know. Does he have the potential to be? Yes. But I don't think he'll ever be a bad player because he never loses confidence. And just watch him knock that ball out with that left hand. So this next rep is probably Deonte Banks' worst rep of the day. And it's because he just kind of had a mental mistake. So right here, you're going to have 2 guys that are going to drop here into the flat. Pretty much 2 guys have that assignment, which means Deonte Banks can drop back here. There's 1 deep safety, so this is obviously cover 3 here. Obviously cover 3. And Deonte Banks, all he's got to do is just drop back here and cover 3, but he gets a little distracted trying to make sure that nothing happens around this area, that he does not worry about his actual assignment. Now, a lot of times, cornerbacks that are playing cover 3 will kind of keep an eye out right here because they're thinking, if something goes here quickly, I have to be able to break on that, gang tackling. Could be a lot of things. But Deonte Banks has two guys that are dropping into that area. Once he notices that, I want him to be a little bit more decisive in dropping back. Because right here, he ends up having to put hands on DK Metcalf 10 yards downfield. And this is a penalty. Luckily, we don't get called for it. But he's got two guys underneath. You don't need three guys covering the same part of the field. And he just puts hands on DK Metcalf. And that should be a penalty. Should be a penalty. Ends up being an incompletion for them. But it should have been a penalty. And again, he ends up having to put hands on him. He's got hands on him 15 yards downfield. And that's not what we want. We want the feet relaxed. We want him being decisive. So just get into that cover 3. Take a look at Cordell Flott at the bottom of your screen. Flott is just dropping back. Just worry about what you got to worry about, and you'll be fine. All right, so this play is something I noticed where I was just like, this is kind of funny. Deonte Banks again playing off coverage here on DK. And DK gets so frustrated at this point in the game, he just throws Deonte Banks on the ground out of bounds. Should have been a penalty. Doesn't get caught on that double move. Beautiful coverage here by Deonte Banks too. Doesn't get caught here on this double move. And look at DK just throw him on the ground like, you're locking me down. I'm just going to throw you on the ground. But let's look at this from a coverage perspective. You got the double move. He breaks on it and still is able to recover here. And that's something that you saw Darrelle Revis do a lot of, where it's the ref is not going to call pass interference if a guy runs into you. If you're on top of the wide receiver, he's not calling pass interference. Never. So you got Deonte Banks right on top. Take a look at DK Metcalf here. Take a look at him. He's facing this way. Deonte Banks is facing that way. Well, because he's facing that way and he's behind that receiver, you're not going to get a flag. You're not going to get a flag here. He's looking for the football. This is what we need to see as far as him playing the football downfield. Now, he didn't get targeted here, but this is what we want to see when Deonte Banks is in phase. Because guess what? It definitely frustrated DK because he threw him on the ground. All right, so here's Seattle, and they're celebrating. They get their first down. And DK Metcalf is just simply not having a good day. He's going to run this stop route here. He's going to catch this. And Okereke and Deonte Banks are going to stand him up and punch the ball out. I think Deonte Banks did it. Okereke thinks that he did it. They both think that they did it. But guess what? The ball is out. And because Deonte Banks came in and helped there, the ball was able to come out. So let's take a look here to see if we can see who punched it out. Completion here. Yeah, it looks like Deonte Banks may have punched that out. Looks like Okereke maybe. I don't know. You be the judge. Okereke definitely came. Okereke might have got that. Deonte might be wrong. Okereke might have punched that one out because the ball went right. All right, so this is advanced level cornerback stuff here. DK is going to basically run a corner route, essentially a corner post, and Deonte Banks is all over it. He's all over it. Take a look at him in off coverage again. Take a look at your boy Deonte Banks downfield turning. You know, most corners are not able to pull this out. To have eyes on DK right there and to turn and have eyes on him again that quickly, most corners aren't going to be able to pull that off. And he does it. He's in cover. He's in a good spot. If this ball is thrown towards DK, this is getting broken up. And again, this is a very difficult turn to make. Try it. Try it with your friend, knowing what route he's going to make, and try to see how quickly you can locate him. And he does this with no issue. And guess what? Look at DK. He's mad. He's like, you're shutting me down. I'm mad at you. All right, so if it's one thing we know about Tay Banks is that he's going to tackle. He's going to tackle in the open field. And he's got a running back. He's got K9. He's got Kenneth Walker lined up across from him. And you already know what time it is. You got a running back lined up out wide against your cornerback one. If they throw him the ball, it's a screenplay. And if they throw him the ball, it's a screenplay that they expect this running back to win most of the time, 99.9% of the time. Take a look at Deonte Banks. No issues here. Get him down on the ground. No issues there. So Deonte Banks did an amazing job this past week bouncing back against the Seahawks. He's got another huge challenge because he's either going to be lined up across from Jamar Chase or T. Higgins every single play. Every single play, he's going to have an amazing challenge in front of him. I can't wait to see how he plays. But luckily, you'll have the big man in the middle playing in front of him, Dexter Lawrence. And if you're interested in seeing how he looked against Seattle, go ahead and click this video here.